Anything else?
Probation.
Anything else? Anything else? Surgery?
What's your problems?
All right.
I probably don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have them in order.
That's funny.
I'm just looking.
It's 6.
Good.
Hello,
You ready for a meeting?
I certainly am.
I'm gonna call the meeting to order then.
Okay.
Welcome everyone to the September 25th business meeting of City of Smith Center. We got Dave Mace on the phone. If anybody can't hear him, speak up, or we'll have him speak up if he does. Have everyone had a chance to read the September 11th meeting minutes? Will there be any additions or corrections to those minutes? Has everybody had a chance to review the vouchers that's been in front of you? Or are there any changes or need to be any questions about the vouchers? If there's no questions or anything, I need a motion to approve the September 11th meeting minutes and pay the bills.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the September 11th meeting minutes and pay the bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Tonight we have the pool committee as guest. Who represents the pool committee? Wants to be their spokesman? Libby, you may approach the bench.
I'm just gonna pass out some things while she's.
Okay. Last week, those of the pool committee that were available, we met down at the site of the new path house for the groundbreaking. We got a quick picture there. And as a committee, we wanted to thank you guys for moving ahead on this project and getting the ball rolling. We're excited to see it completed soon. We'd also like to make sure we thank the community for all of their generous donations towards this project. All in all, the city received 325 donations, individual donations towards this. Some of those were as little as $5 and some as large as $300,000. The entire community really stepped up and helped to make this a reality, from preschoolers donating what they had in their piggy banks all the way up to large foundations awarding substantial grants towards this. Donations towards the pool from individuals totaled over $414,000. Grants totaled over $500,000, and the fundraising didn't stop there. All in all, the pool committee raised $1,073,452.16 from the extremely generous people of Smith County and beyond. To recognize all of these people that donated in the community of Smith Center, the new pool committee wanted to suggest naming the pool the Smith Center Community Pool. And we've got pricing for a sign that says Smith Center Community Pool. I believe it's on that estimate from Joe. But with that being said, the person that we feel was most responsible for moving this project forward and making this new pool a reality and leading our committee so well was Arloa Barnes. And it was her vision and her dream and really her legwork that made our community's dream come true. And I think we all know that this entire project would have never happened if it wasn't for her. She worked tirelessly writing grants, making phone calls, leading meetings, and so much more to make this dream a reality for all of us. She truly was a huge asset for our community, and she's very much missed. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to see this project through to completion. So as a committee, we wanted to definitely recognize her in some way. And we thought that we propose, with your approval, that we would name the block that the pool sits on, the Arloa Barnes Memorial Park. And we would make some signage some point in the future that would say that. We've been meeting with Joey for the last few months, discussing our intentions, and that we wanted to have a plaque made and placed in the bathhouse that would recognize the city council and, the mayor and the clerk and the pool committee members at the time of the project. We thought we'd put that inside the new pool house. And we'd also like to have a memorial to Arloa somewhere, either on the building. I think Joey's mock-up has it on the building, but I think we're leaning towards somewhere in the landscaping right outside the building, with maybe her family would like to contribute towards that project, something. And we had discussed maybe a bench and some dragonflies. That's kind of what they're going with. They voiced that they wanted to contribute something towards this. We also wanted to present our plans for the donor wall project, and that's what that mock-up is. Initially, we discussed doing something metal, the committee and Joey kind of came up with this idea instead. It's acrylic. He was supposed to be here tonight to present to you what all of this is, but about an hour ago, he stopped by my house and gave me his information to say for him tonight. So I'll do my best. He wants to go with the acrylic signage instead of metal because it's more durable and long lasting. The color's through and through, so it shouldn't fade. And if it cracks or chips, it does have a lifetime replacement warranty, though removal and installation would cost you. He plans to stud mount the individual panels at different heights to add depth and dimension to the design. And he thinks it would make it more secure for each individual piece, so when kids come up and break it off, it'd be easy enough to put back on. The sign with the building name, he wants to stud mount directly flush to the wall, not offset. And I think the price on there includes that. Then the dragonfly, that includes some combination of aluminum and acrylic, and he wants to stud mount that to the wall. But like I said, we're still discussing that. Inside, we discussed with them some machine tooled plaques, but he hasn't given us prices on those yet because we aren't exactly sure what all to include on those and where we would want those. And until the building's done, I don't think we would know. And we are also discussing placing the dragonflies, because for Arloa's memorial, randomly throughout the park. We've discussed maybe fundraising for a splash pad at some point on the west corner, the corner west of the new bathhouse, and maybe using some dragonflies in that too at some point in the future.
Okay.
So the price on there is for 3/8 inch acrylic, the $8,000 price. He says the 1/4 inch is available too. It would be about $3,000 to $4,000 less. But he recommended the 3/8 inch. So do you have any questions?
I like your design. That's really cool. I was kind of curious how that was all going to come together. I like that.
How much you donated determined the size of your plaque. So the larger ones are in the higher tiers.
Yeah.
There are 119 of the individual donors. I don't know if I said that. Oh yeah, we had 119 donors that qualified to be on the wall. You had to donate $500 to be on the wall. So
Comments, council? Somebody wants to go first? Don?
I think it looks really, really good. On the donor wall, have all the donors given the okay to have their names there?
I believe so. Ariel? Yes.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't hurt if they signed off.
I think we mailed something out to all of them and they all sent back how they wanted their name on there.
Okay.
So there was like one or two that they couldn't get a hold of.
And then Ariel called people that we didn't know for sure, just to ask them to give them the choice if they wanted to or not.
Brady, comments?
Looks good.
Tracy?
I think it'd be great to do a memorial for our wow.
And all of them.
Yeah.
Dave?
Are the dragonflies for Arla?
Yes, there's something I think her family has kind of been using.
Is there a way that you can put an explanation behind it? Somewhere in the building?
A what?
Explanation?
Yes. Now, what we've discussed, some of us ladies on the committee have discussed, instead of doing it up on the building, doing metal dragonflies that are kind of at different heights out in the landscaping, and then doing like a granite rock or something with a plaque on it that kind of explains Arloa's contribution and what the dragonfly meaning was. Truly, I can't even tell you.
I like that.
Okay, that's kind of what we're leaning towards. But we don't have a price for that, so I can't ask for that today.
Tracy?
No, I'm good. That looks great.
Dave, you got any comments?
No, I just think it's a great way to honor Arlo, and I'm all for it.
All right. Let's have a motion to approve center monuments on the lettering and all this for the bid of $11,336.31.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the lettering that we have at this point. All those in favor say aye.
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 I,
Anybody have any questions for that?
I'd like to thank the pool committee for years of work on this.
Literally, you.
It's coming together.
Yeah, finally. And fast work, because when we found out the grant was even a possibility, it was put together.
They got the
in a
donors.
hurry. You know?
Well, not only that, we had to get our community eligible. That was the trick
It was fast, and every one of them went
in the short
500
order.
miles an hour.
I was in Arizona and Orlando called me and I
Yes, and extremely short.
rough with it, but I don't know how you're gonna do it.
Since you all didn't think it was ever going to.
Oh, no. And as you have noticed, we have broke ground, and was there a picture in this last week's paper
I think there was going to be, yeah.
or coming out?
I think it was in last week's.
Was it?
I don't get the papers.
I don't either.
It was.
Why
Last week, all right, so we're making progress. And if you think getting the money together will slow, wait till we get done with this project. Thank you, full committee, everyone that's involved.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
We have the airport board, they're up on the agenda next. Who will be your spokesman for that, Art? Welcome, Art.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this on your agenda kind of at a late time. So we threw some things together for you all to have and keep. So we have something.
Thank you. There's a card addressed to the mayor and city council.
And you pass these out.
Special thank you very much.
So again, thank you for giving us a little spot on your busy agenda. Initially, we talked about what can we do for our appreciation for the open house that took place a week ago last Sunday, and how that came about. And one of the things that the airport gurus come up with is that it was I think Bryce was talking to the pilots a year ago, and Bryce said, why don't you come back? And so it trickled down from there to Rick and Ariel, and it all happened. And it pretty much, they did the whole thing. So it was really a special thanks to Ariel and Rick and Bryce for making that happen. I think during the year, Bryce would say they're going to come back again, and we go, okay, is that going to happen? And it did. And so it was really good, I think, for the airport. It was good for the community. And Ariel made mention about people that were showing up that hadn't been to the airport before. And so it was kind of automatic when the planes start making all that noise, people they kind of gravitate that way. So it was a good way to get people to the airport. So when we were thinking about that, we thought, well, we'll just give some of the council members our little news, since we've had kind of a state of the union of the airport. So we put together this little booklet and kind of a 15-year look back, and we'll make this short. It's not make it as short as possible. But anyway, if you go to the second page in, Doug Armconnect got some pictures off of where, Doug?
Google.
I know, but somebody,
Google Earth.
Google Earth. And so if you look there, the first one on the upper right-hand corner is 2008. You can barely see the runway, the old black runway sitting there. North is up if you look at that. And then in 2012, after the new runway got built, you can kind of see we took over some extra land and had a nice new wide, almost a mile long runway and 75-foot wide. And then down in 2022, you see the runway, you see an additional taxiway at the very bottom of the runway, and also that large ramp, that large white ramp that sits there by the hangars. And so it's just a progression over the last 12 to 15 years where Smith Center's airport has progressed from. And so how did we get there? How did the city of Smith Center get from 2008 to 2012? Well, the next page is a couple of, Bryce always likes these pictures. He says he always likes these pictures of the old terminal and the bathrooms. But anyway, he's seen them several times. But in 2012, that's kind of what the surroundings looked like. And that was after the ramp was put in and the runways were finished as well. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then on the next page, I didn't get a picture of the outside of the terminal, but it has a picture of the inside and the improvement that takes place there. And so on the next few pages, Lochner is the designated engineer facility. Is that correct for Smith Center's airport? They came to town last December, and some of you were there. But one of the reasons we printed this off, we wanted to go to the second page, where on actually page 3 of that, where it says it has a total running of the dollars that were spent at the airport, basically since about 2010. And if you look on the left-hand column, it's $5.36 million that have been spent at the airport. And the FAA, or the federal share, was $3.8 million, and the state of Kansas was $1.17 million, and Smith Center's contribution was $382,000, about 7% of the total. And it's just a good example of how when the city works with funds that are available and apply for them. And so that's a result of you all and the city going after those funds. I remember going to a farm conference thing, I don't know, 6-8 years ago, and this guy named Art Barnaby was there. He's retired from ag policy, but he said, at K-State, it used to be the money just kind of came down and it was there and you used it. And he says, now it doesn't do that. You have to ask for it and justify why you're going to use it. And that's how all this happened. It is by Smith Center asking for it and using good reasons to make these funds available for the local community. So that's really a result of what the city has done from a government standpoint. Now the terminal on the page before, the inside of the terminal was largely donated. I think the city paid for the new air conditioner and maybe a few other things, but it was largely donated. All the work and the structure and the furniture was donated by local donations. The furniture was mostly all made by Peterson Industries when they were still in business. And Curtis seen to it that it got there and got made and installed. And so it was a project that kind of matched what the federal government, the local government, and the state government done on the outside. So it's very much appreciative. In addition to that, I wrote down there, Ag Care by Air. We had, I think there were some questions going on as to when Dave was getting out of the business, what can we do here? But whatever the negotiations were such that we still have an Ag Care by Air in town with airplanes coming out of Nebraska operating out of here during the season. And so, we have in the terminal, we have it stocked with drinks and snacks and coffee. We have a courtesy car now. When someone comes to town, doesn't have a ride around, they get in the Smith Center courtesy car and sometimes it ends up a little farther away than maybe we had originally thought it would, but it's good. So a little bit on the airport pilot group. I was thinking of the golf course and how much, how the golf course and the pool, how many local people are involved and volunteer for the upkeep of those things in the parks. And the airport's very similar to that. We have an airport group that meets every Wednesday morning at 7:00 in the morning to discuss airport needs. And we tell war stories, of course, that's just part of it. And it's interesting, over the years, we have out-of-town people that show up. We have a guy from Franklin that shows up probably twice a month. We have a couple of guys from Hastings that come down every 4 to 6 weeks. And a guy named Jim Griffin out of Downs, who has his own little airport just west of Downs, he has quit coming because he doesn't like to drive that time of day. But he used to come up every week. And if you look on the outside of our terminal, it says Smith Center K82, and Jim donated that to the airport. And the security system we have out there with the monitor and everything, Jim donated that and installed it. So I say all that to say that we have an active group that continues to cooperate and work with the city government. In addition to that, Kent and Cindy Stones, a couple of years ago, decided that they were going to take on a project and land at every airport in the state of Kansas, 138 of them. And they did that in a period of, I think, 4 or 5 months, maybe less. And Kent was going to be here tonight, and he texted me just late in the afternoon and said he wasn't going to make it. But he has a lot of stories about how Smith Center compares to the other 138 airports. I mean, you take 10 of the airports out, and you're down to airports like Smith Center. So, yes, and then Kent says, well, Kent Cindy says, well, we flew all of Kansas airports, let's just fly all of Nebraska airports. So they flew 91 airports in Nebraska as well. And so they've got a good appreciation of, so it helps us. It helps the community to have somebody that's got that overview of what's going on throughout the state and the surrounding state. And Cindy is on the board of Kansas Commission of Aerospace Education. They have an aviation day at the Capitol where it's just focuses on education of aviation. They have a Fly Kansas Day that goes on. It's going to be in October. It goes on for 3 or 4 days, and they fly to different airports, invite the schools out to the airport that they go to for career days and what have you. In addition to that, let's see. So then every year, most of us know that Home on the Range has the fundraiser in town, and they bring in dignitaries and Kansas City Chiefs people, and most of all those arrived by jet aircraft that landed Smith Center. Doug was kind enough to make some really nice videos last spring of the airplanes coming in, and they're all really impressed with Smith Center's airport and what it has to offer here. We have, as far as local education, we try to get a career day at the high school once a year. Last year we had the Secretary of Transportation Aviation Division come and speak to the high school, and first grade comes out every year to the airport for their what do you call it, their last day or their
Field trip.
field trip. And then during the year we go to the science class in the 6th grade and put on a 2-hour presentation about the Smith Center airports and aviation in general, and some of the things that we do in the from the pilot group. Curtis, you want to say a little bit about your aviator?
Well, one thing that's been going on the last 2 years, and Art talked a little bit about it, the career thing that he has at the high school. But there are 3 students here the last few years. Casey Heron, Garrett Warner, and my grandson, Mason Enix, have shown a strong interest in careers in aviation. And they oftentimes will meet with us at the airport and we'll talk about airplane things. And they've been making college visits, or K-State, Carolina, and Wichita's got a good program. Heston's got a program. Kearney, Nebraska's got a program. And my grandson, Mason, he has soloed in the very same airplane that I soloed in. So that's a testament to how well an airplane is kept up. It's actually a 1968 Cessna 150. So anyway, kind of proud of those young men that we're trying to tutor them a little bit. What they're going to do, they're going to leave us, and that they were so far back. Once they go to school and learn what's happening. But it's just kind of a neat feeling.
Doug?
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was 13 years ago, it's been a long time, but I was living in Montana. I grew up in Copper City, but I spent my 20s in Montana. And I was visiting a particular girl for quite a bit that year. And a friend and I flew into the airport here, and the new runway had just been put in at that time. And seeing the quality of aviation and airport that was here, seeing things like the golf courses and so on. I was living in a big city in Montana, 100,000 people, and coming back here and seeing that the community was invested in things like that really helped me want to move back here. So something else to consider is that an airport is really important infrastructure, and I know not a lot of young people are interested in aviation, but having a good airport that's kept up certainly shows that you care about your community.
And Doug has a pilot's license. In addition, he has one of the few,
Drone.
drone pilots license as well. So, and then in addition to that, we try to help the city in anything that they need help with in the refueling and terminal lighting or whatever. So I guess that the big thing is that in order for things to happen in this community, like the pool and the golf course and whatever, it helps if there's collaboration and involvement from the people that use those facilities, and the airport is one of those, and we want to thank the city for being a good piece of that.
Thank you, Art. As a newly council member in 1983, under Mayor Gary Gardner, which is the city's mayor for 20 years, he was an advocate for the airport. And he sold this airport the whole time I knew him, and that's why we have it in honor of him today. And thank you guys for carrying on and pushing forward, because that's what you got to do. And Gary would be proud of all of us for that. Thank you. In our previous and ongoing business, the first topic is the hospital building, and I'm going to motion to table that to the next meeting. I want a full council here for that.
I'll move to table it.
Okay. Need move second to table the Smith County building project. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. You want to put that on next agenda?
Thank you.
The 204K project, you want to pull that up?
This one is the mayor's excited one there. As I had explained when we did the agreement, we had a typo. It went from agreement number 1 to agreement number 3. There was no agreement number 2. They found another typo in their contract, so what you have in front of you, there's no change in our agreement whatsoever. They fixed their typo and put the correct number. So there are 2 different motions that are needed, one for a cancellation of the prior and another to reapprove the supplemental agreement is now named.
On this cancellation agreement, is there any number we need to attach to this?
It is, they just have here canceling the number 3. That's the one that they had marked as number 3.
Okay,
And it should have been number 2.
okay,
We went ahead and went through, we had asked about it, they said they saw it, it should be fine. They took it on, sent it back.
okay. So we need a,
I move to approve the cancellation agreement from KDOT.
I need a second to that cancellation agreement.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor of the cancellation agreement, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
I move to approve the supplemental agreement for number 2 from KDOT.
Need a motion for that, or a second for that? Been moved and seconded to approve the supplemental agreement number 2 from KDOT. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you, Dave. You got the documents?
Here's the council. And here is code number.
That take care of the 204 project?
Yes.
Is that all we need?
Yes.
We have a lagoon improvement agreement. This was Wilson.
Yes, but you have there from Wilson Company. This is the agreement for the city of Smith Center to work with Wilson Company and for professional engineering services. As he explained it the last meeting. However, this is what he had at the end of the meeting for the lagoon project, not for the water transmission line.
We need to just approve this engineering services agreement. Have you, everybody had a chance to look over this engineering services agreement with Wilson on the lagoon project? It looks like their typical contract.
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Comments, anybody? Not, I need a motion to approve Wilson engineering agreement for the sewer lagoon improvement project.
I'll make that motion to approve it.
Dave, all right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the Wilson Company engineering agreement. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thanks, Jill. That concludes all of our ongoing previous business. We have health insurance bids under new business. Jill, you want to go through that with us right quick now?
I have a spreadsheet there, and Alicia sent the information on our renewal with United Healthcare, the combination of them and, excuse me, Freedom Claims. She also did a bid for Blue Cross Blue Shield. They returned with a silver plan and a bronze plan, and one was returned from Aetna. As you'll see, the policy amounts are less as they go down, and the deductibles and co-insurances go up. As typical. So I kind of put down below what her and I had discussed. The renewal for United Healthcare is an increase of about 7.8%. In comparison to the other three plans, it is less out of pocket for both the city and the employee because the city does pay the difference between the United Healthcare and Freedom Claims up to that deductible amount. Blue Cross Blue Shield Silver does have just a slightly higher deductible and co-insurance. However, that difference in between is higher. That would cost the city a little bit more. And the prescription amounts are higher and the out-of-pocket to the employee. The Blue Cross Blue Shield Bronze has a straight deductible. The employee would pay 100% out of pocket every time they went to the doctor, got a prescription, had a scan until they meet the minimum. And that in turn, excuse me, is quite a bit more expensive. There is no prescription plan at all. The Aetna runs very similar. However, a prescription plan does come into play once $7,350 is paid out by the employee on top of premiums. So in putting all the numbers together and then crunching the what ifs, at 50% of our employees hitting their deductible, we are still better off with the United Healthcare.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I pushed it pretty hard because I wasn't sure on the Blue Cross Blue Shield Silver, so I reworked it several ways, and I can't get over half the employees hitting without exceeding the dollar amount.
And we've had no issues with them.
And none that I've really heard of. I think it's gotten a little better. Have you heard the guys say much about United Healthcare? It's mostly just been our local providers they've had issues with. Not
I just
saying,
know it's not necessarily, the cheapest isn't necessarily the best.
right. I did, however, I said I thought the silver might be a contender.
Mhm.
But when I run that based on the last few years of usage, we have over 50% that hit their max. And I can't get to 50% and make it affordable.
Looks like the renewal with United Healthcare is the way to go.
I wish it was a lesser increase, but we did stay under the 10%, which I was a little bit surprised at.
4,000 deductible for individuals.
It comes down to 500 with the freedom claims. That goes in conjunction.
Is that on
For a
UHC?
single, yes.
Yeah.
For a single plan,
What's a
2,000.
family plan deductible?
2,000. It goes from the 8,000 for United Healthcare with the freedom claims comes down to 2,000.
Do we need a motion to approve the renewal for United
Yes,
Healthcare,
And this goes into effect December 1.
December? Okay. Questions, council? Brady?
I don't know enough about health insurance to ask them questions.
You only can find out how good it is when you need it.
Yeah, that's true. Dave, you have any question?
No, I know.
Okay. Tracy?
No.
Don?
No.
Need a motion to approve the renewal for United Healthcare.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the United Healthcare renewal. All those in favor say aye.
I,
Motion carried. Employee on the 6-month review, who do we have?
David Heilman, his first day was March 20th, 2023. So he is up for his 6-month review.
And he was hired under Tensus to move him to what pay grade?
He would go up 1 pay grade, which if you go to your next sheet there, puts him at pay grade 6 under the full-time employee column.
The review with that employee by Rick, or is he worthy of this?
No, I think we should can him. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. I haven't heard any complaints or anything. Any council, any questions? Need a motion to move Dave to the grade 6.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
I'll second it.
All right, been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have the committee reports. We have the rec commission. Is anybody here to represent the rec commission?
And
I do, I'm sorry.
they submitted their minutes. Billy did some work at both of the fields. So they did do a payout for the work that was done there. There is a motion that would be needed under the field director's report. I've highlighted that, have an application. They're being worked on to be presented and making some changes. And they have moved and approved to bump the base pay of the field director to 4,000.
Do you know what the old base pay was?
I believe it's 3,215.
They
Not
operate
positive.
with
Does that
their
sound
own
right?
money on that, don't they?
3,200 or something,
I think it's 35.
or 35.
They operate with their own
They've got their own,
budget, don't
their
they?
own bill.
That's the 3 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
So do they.
They're happy with everything that's going on.
Do we need a motion to approve that?
So they will open up for new applications when they're built.
They don't have one at this time.
Oh, they don't, okay.
No. That tractor sold for a little over $11,000 that they come in and talk to you about, that mower.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
right.
that was a good price for it.
And I did get an email from Sean with a snap of the minutes that they have, but I didn't get it until this afternoon. And I can't see all of it, so I did ask him to get me the Word document or whichever program he used it in. It's
Just email
cut
it
off.
to him.
He did get a resignation letter from Matt Hack.
Did they approve
Yeah,
the
and,
resignation?
yeah, and it's Kevin Lauman that they're recommending to move up to a board member.
Do we need to approve Kevin?
You do, don't
We
we?
also need to approve the $4,000.
Oh, okay.
Okay, let's do that first. On the $4,000, we need a motion to approve the, what do you call it?
The field
Field
director.
director.
Field director to go to the $4,000. Need a motion to that.
So moved.
Second, somebody.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded with our field director to 4,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Aye.
Okay.
Did he send you Matt's
The,
resignation?
Yeah, it's cut off too, so.
Oh, okay.
He'll
Because I
resubmit
had
that.
it, I had it.
we need to accept the resignation of Matt Hack off of,
Yeah, everything was positive. He just is kind of getting pushed with time with his wife, her position, and kids. And
yeah, understand.
but there was nothing negative on his part at all.
I need the motion to accept his resignation.
So moved.
Matt Hack's.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor to accept Matt Hack's resignation, say aye.
Aye.
Need approval. Yeah, thank you. I need an approve or a motion to approve Matt Hack to the board
No, Kevin Lyman.
or Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin Lyman.
We just cut him off.
Yeah, we'll put him back. He can't get away. Need a motion for Kevin Lyman to be on the commission.
I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to put Kevin Lyman on the reclamation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Aye.
Anything else with the reclamation?
And that's all.
That's all you have. Departmental report, Jamie, you may have the floor.
The one thing I have for you, I'd like to thank the firemen that helped me in the fire we had, the house fire we had here in the scene.
Oh, okay.
They stayed for us, so I could patrol and Sheldon on that day, but he'd been out all day, so they helped cover it until the fire marshal got there. So I'd like to thank them. I'd also like to talk to Jill. Also, where they don't get paid, I'd like to compensate them with some money for helping me out, so.
Okay. You want comp time pay or something, or just,
I think
what
you
are
had
you thinking?
$300.
I think $300 in cash and just let them divide it between them. There were 8 of them that helped, so,
Okay,
at least they get something, because they get fire run money, but where it was after the fire and stuff, and that don't come to a lot, so.
Yeah.
And if I need them again, I figure they'll help me and stuff, so they did a good job, so.
all right. Anybody have anything for Jamie? Brady, anything for Jamie? No. Tracy? No. Dave?
No, nothing here.
No. Don?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Jamie. Rick, you may have the floor.
The only thing I got is Bob's retiring over at the water plant. I'm not for sure when, but we've contacted a few people to take over his job. We've had no luck yet. So we'll just keep looking. If you can pick anybody, send them our way.
Okay.
Talked to Bill Phillips. We talked to
How many hours a week?
5 or 6.
What's the time on that?
So you can do it whenever you want.
What is
Basically,
it,
I'll just take
janitorial?
water samples and clean it up. Would you ask, Bryce?
Yeah, it's primarily janitorial.
So I take water samples every day. Gotta take one at the plant and then someplace out in the community.
Oh.
But other than that, yeah, it's about an hour a day, a little over if you're cleaning.
What's it pay?
It's on your
I could be, way my crops are this.
I can't pay you though.
$13.50 an hour.
Oh, my.
That's where we have Bob, he's been doing it a while. I think it starts, though, still
Grade
at
four is
11.
11.
$11
Starting
an hour.
grade's $11 an hour.
I wouldn't be surprised you can't find anybody. Wouldn't surprise me
Like I
at
said,
all.
we talked to Dale Nixon, we talked to Bill Phillips, and neither one of them are interested, so.
Okay. All right,
That's all I have.
anybody have anything for Rick? Dave, you got anything for Rick?
No,
Tracy?
No.
Brady?
No.
Rick, you worked the airport for the open house. How long did you work there? How long were you at the airport?
3 hours.
3? Ariel, who all worked with you out there? The 3 of you?
Kim was out there.
Well, my point is, I think, other than snow removal and water line breaks, I think whoever is a city event, city-sponsored event, I'd like to see these folks get some comp time out of that.
They've got one there, haven't you?
Do they got it?
Yeah, we had them add. I think you had 3 hours on there, didn't you?
You did? Everybody did. I didn't know. I
I
know.
don't know if the girls have, because I haven't turned them in yet, but
I talked to him about it, I told Ken I was just gonna donate my time, and they said we were supposed to put it down, so I
Well,
did.
we need to handle it like we do a water line break or snow removal or whatever, because we're asking your time to be donated in off hours. That's what happened. So, Ariel, Kim, turn in your time. If you're not, you're out. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Anybody have anything for Rick? Don?
No.
Have gone around, Tracy?
Yeah, you've already gone.
I've already gone around. All right, I'll get caught up here. I'm in the time warp.
You're thinking about that water.
I missed it.
Yeah. What's that, Rick?
I'm going.
Don?
That's right.
But
Now I'm
We
wondering.
might have to start having morning meetings.
Hey, Joe.
Hey,
Joe,
Joe.
yeah.
Mine here.
Go down.
Come on, Jim.
Yeah, there you go. Were you gonna say something?
No,
Okay.
I maybe, but I forgot, so.
That's kind of what I had. Jill, do you have anything for the council?
And nothing major, I've worked up employee benefit, both of us reached out full-time employees, looked up their new rates and give them a better idea of where they are. I'll have Ariel talk about the CES, our security system. I think was about to push her over the edge. It was a bit noisy, beeping, making all kinds of noise. She did receive a proposal from them. It's not an inexpensive replacement. Installation and programming, $575. The 16-channel network video recorder, hard drive, $2,238.99. This was put in 2020.
Okay. Brady, you have anything for Jill? No. Tracy? Dave?
no,
Don?
No.
Got your name right, Chris.
Yes, you did. I was.
Ariel, do you have anything to bring for the council?
Just this, is that what I'm talking about? Okay, so that is the hard drive to the security cameras located right behind my desk. So currently they're not on because that thing just beeps pretty much constantly. It's like every 15 seconds it does a five beep cycle, and then it'll wait 15 seconds later, it continues to do it. It did it maybe a month ago. I called the company and they kind of walked me through how to reset it, and this time it won't do it. It just keeps going back to the same thing.
Will
So
they come out?
Hmm.
Will the company come out, or we have to get a new system?
that's a quote for a new hard drive.
That's what it needs.
Is there a warranty on this?
Don't think any longer.
I mean, if we put a new one in, is there a warranty on it?
I'm not sure the details on it, but
So the two questions I have are, is there warranty, and 10 terabytes is a hell of a lot of memory. Is that, how many hours of recording is that? That would be the questions I had for them. Terabytes. Beyond megabyte, beyond gigabyte, terabyte.
Can we install this thing ourselves?
What they do.
It's complex. There's
Yeah, I-
got 30 some wires going
Yeah, I
through
would
it.
assume they'd come in and do that.
We've got
You
cameras
want,
all
the
over the
installation's
building.
fine, you want them to install it.
Yeah.
I'm questioning the amount of storage that we're gonna have. That is a
Overkill.
lot of storage. For 10 terabytes, that is a lot of storage.
We can find out and bring it back.
I have no idea if that's correct or not.
I can email the guy tomorrow and find out though.
See where we're at, see how much recording time that is, and then.
Yeah, if
That
we
those-
have is plenty, if what we have is plenty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if
We-
we need to see how much recording time that is, that's what sort of the description is, where the recording time is.
All right, let's go ahead and approve this and give her the authority to, if it's, you can save us some money to go to a smaller amount. And we'll go that route. How's that?
Sounds good. I move to approve this. Give Ariel the authority to go to a lesser terabyte if we need it less, if he needs less.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the proposal with that option. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
The only other thing do we need to do anything to name the block of the pool?
Park, the
Yeah.
pool park, no, they talked about it here, when they come up with their proposal, whatever, we'll just do it.
Oh, she talking about the street.
Well, I think they're wanting to maybe install like something that will say that, like off on the corner of the block at some point, and I just wanted to make sure that if they're gonna go forward with that, that it's fine.
It talked like Libby sounded to me like she was going to go down that road later.
I think it'll be the next thing they think about though.
Anybody have anything for Ariel? Ms. Grady?
No.
Tracy? Dave, you have anything for Ariel? Don?
No.
Thank you, Ariel. Council reports, Tracy, you'd like to go first?
I do not have it.
Don, do you have anything for the
Yeah, I
council?
have nothing.
Dave, do you have anything to bring for the council?
I do not.
Brady?
Nothing.
Down to me. Old Settlers Day went very well. We had served 1,200 through our service organizations, and who went through the line. I thank the community for the support that they've done for raising the funds that I solicited for the barbecue, and it turned out really good, really well. Thank you, everyone. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Take this one. Yeah. Dawn, take this.
My dad was so